Hi Aquarius, welcome to your extended week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you in your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your teaser to the week, you have the Devil card, but you also have the Empress, right? So 'tis the season to overindulge, and if you're ever going to do it, now would be a good time. Now, what I find really interesting about this, though, is this pairing, it could literally see you enjoying yourself so much that your body starts to bear the brunt of it, right? That's one way that we can see this. The Empress is about what is lush and fertile and tasty and juicy and sexy and sensual. It's all about pleasure. And the Devil card is about obsession and OTT to the max, right? So on a really sort of mundane level, this could just be you taking it a little bit too far. You know, whether this is too much drink, too much food, too much chocolate, too much of all of the above, too much of something else as well, for whatever you guys like to indulge in. The way that I see this, though, on a more sort of like spiritual level, this could be a tendency to gloss over when things are, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like the Pollyanna positivity, right? It's like you see what you want to see because, you know, love, light, unicorn and rainbows is what feels good right now. That may be the case, but it's not realistic, all right? So I urge you this week, you know, this combination can represent pleasure at all costs. And sometimes the toll or the price is too high, right? And you have to ask yourself, okay, is this too much? Or is this where I'm maybe doing too much, giving too much, spending too much, eating too much, drinking too much? And more importantly, am I trying to escape something in the real world, right? And that's one of the other ways that this could show up. There could be a really challenging experience that you're having or something that you're going through, and it's like you are just going to remain positive and I'm just going to think happy thoughts and kind of ignore the way that things actually are. I urge you against that this over this next fortnight, all right? Just be honest with yourself about what comes up, about how you feel, especially as for, you know, specifically for those of you that are Aquarius ascendants, to a lesser degree the sun and the moon, but even still for you guys, the sun is in your 12th house, right? This is shining a spotlight on the dark area, the past, the hidden, the deep and the subconscious, right? So this could be a part of that as well. Now, before we get into the rest of your cards, I just want to say a huge thank you so much for all of your support throughout 2021. It really does mean a lot that you've chosen to stick with me. For those of you that have been with me longer than that or right from the beginning, I know there's a few of you hardcore ride or dies, and it really does mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for being a part of Radiant Reality. And like I said, I created Radiant Reality, but it's you guys that make it. As cheesy as that sounds, it's just the truth, right? And then for those of you that are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options, you've got the Fool card, right? So this card is actually ruled by Aquarius because in a lot of ways it represents the world. It represents, there's so many ways I could go into this, but literally this is an Aquarian energy. So you show up, Aquarius, as yourself, right? True to form in all of your glory and in all of your splendor. And what this suggests is, this is you looking out on all of the new possibilities and potentials that are ahead of you. This, coupled with these, kind of does suggest to me this life is a smorgasbord and I'm going to try everything, which is, you know, it's a lovely idea. But when you sample everything, you're going to feel that, right? So it's kind of like going to a buffet and saying, I have to eat literally everything that's here. It's a nice ideal. You're not going to like everything, and you know what? It's probably not going to make you feel good. So this is one of those things where I would say to you, The Fool card is urging new things, new places, new people, a new outlook on life, which is wonderful, right? And you should absolutely get into that. But it is also, remember, the Fool card can show up sometimes when we're doing something that is a little bit foolish, right? So you just want to make sure that you're keeping everything in some semblance of balance. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Wands. Celebrations, fun, enjoyment, right? Stability of enjoyment. And I feel like as well, for a lot of you, this is you setting an intention to enjoy your life more, to enjoy, you know, your life, your existence, the connections that you have with people, whether they're friends, family, colleagues. This is about you seeking more enjoyment and pleasure in your life, especially because you've got this underneath the Devil card and the Empress, right? This is a lot of pleasure, a lot of enjoyment, a lot of fun. Just remember though, you know, life is more than that. I mean, Aquarians tend to be quite serious anyway, even those that are a bit more zany. Right? So just keep it, try to keep it in moderation. For those of you that work for somebody else, one way that this might show up for you is an invitation, right? An invitation to the next level, an invitation to to an inner circle or an inner sanctum of some sort. Now, I do have to be honest with you, because the Devil card is in the mix. You might not like what you see once you're in that inner circle, but the invite is definitely there. All right, so very nice, very interesting. For those of you that are self-employed, business owners, etc., again, same kind of energy, an invite into some new way of doing things. This could be an invite of some sort of business. It could be maybe aligning with an interesting or powerful woman in some way, shape or form, because you've got the Empress card there as well. For some of you, especially with the Fool card here, this could literally be an engagement, right? So maybe you're getting engaged, maybe you're setting a date, maybe you're renewing vows, maybe you're deciding to make it official and, you know, speak about a relationship of some sort. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, one way that this might show up for you is you are just all about that good time. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my life. I want pleasure at the moment. And it kind of is that almost blanket statement, pleasure at all costs, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because it means that you're willing to give to yourself, right? And it's in those spaces in our lives that really advancement starts to happen. Just don't let it run amok. For your love and relations, you've got that Eight of Cups. You've got this underneath the Fool card. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, I would say for a very select few of you, if you split up over the next 2 weeks, excuse me, there's the Capri yawn. If you split up with somebody over the next 2 weeks, it's not going to stick. Why? Because we're in a Venus retrograde. Relationships that end in a Venus retrograde tend not to stay ended. All right. So I'm going to say this to you: save yourself the hassle. Work out whatever problem, challenge, or issue may arise for you. On a brighter note, for some of you, this could literally be you speaking about where you live and deciding that maybe you are going to start looking further afield, or that you're ready to move from here on in. This is really exciting. With that Four of Wands in the mix, though, there are some interesting but fun conversations to be had with your partner. All right, there's something here that suggests that something about your relationship is evolving, and if you're open to it, it could really enhance the relationship. For those of you that are single, it's likely to be somebody that you've either never met, or somebody that you've only ever heard whispers of, that you meet at a family party, at a get-together. Maybe you know, somebody has suggested this person to you, and maybe you've even planned to meet this person, but you just never get round to it. There's always something or someone that's in the way, and it's like, oh, do you know what, whatever. And then all of a sudden you find yourself crossing paths with this person. It's going to be very, very interesting. For your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Wands. Okay, well, one way that this might show up, this overindulgence that you're doing, could literally just have you spending too much money. Watch out for that, obviously, especially if you haven't already done your holiday shopping. You could just overdo it, you know, like to the point where you're like, oh, okay. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Nine of Wands can sometimes talk about accidents. Please be careful, especially because you've got the Fool card here as well. Pay attention to what you're doing. For those of you that are going to be driving around, obviously I don't need to tell you not to drink and drive. You know, just look after yourself, because that could be like a slip, a trip, a fall of some sort, and you could end up a little bit banged up because of it. It also suggests as well, because it's the Nine of Wands, this would be your lower back sort of area, so mind out for that. Probably the mid back as well, actually. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, if you are spending extended periods away from home, maybe invest in one of those little home-based camera thingies that you can check from your phone. Not to say that anything's going to happen or whatever, but it's kind of like that whole better safe than sorry energy. All right, so for your new moon message, you have the Gate 5 and Patience. Oh man, I've got so many stories about this card, but I'll keep it short. The new moon is really trying to show you where you are either trying to move something over to where you're trying to do something too quickly. It could be a powerful moment that asks you to put the brakes on something, right? So the new moon, you might try to do something or to manifest something. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And it's like the universe says to you, wait. Right? Just wait. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you're chasing, it's already on its way to you. Just wait. All right. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. It looks like you will. Just look after yourself while you're having it. Yeah, for all that you've been and offered to Radiant Reality over the course of this year, from my heart to yours and for you and yours, I truly hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Have an amazing end of and beginning of your new year. Take care, and I'll see you soon.